Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Colin Weingarten, and I am the product manager for InTemp. Today, we're going to be going over the COVID vaccine cold chain monitoring. Um, at onset, we're always looking to keep up to date on what's going on in the world and making sure that we're providing you with the best solutions and a fully robust line of solutions to meet all of your needs. But beyond that, we're always looking to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help with anything that might be going on in the world, and specifically now the pandemic. So we're really excited and happy that you're all joining us today so that we can go over what we're seeing going on in the world and how our solutions might be able to assist you with that. Just a little housekeeping first. If you can't hear me, do please check your computer audio. You'll see in the control panel there, there's a couple options to make sure that you can hear me. If you do have any questions, there is a question box in the control panel as well. Please do enter all of your questions there. I will stop one time halfway through the presentation to allow for some questions, and then I will stop again at the very end of the presentation for any remaining questions. Just so you all know, this webinar is being recorded and will be made available to all of you at the end of it. And if you haven't seen already, in the chat box, my colleague Jessica has already posted a link for you, and there's a couple of handouts as well. Just some really good information to look at beyond the webinar. So today, we're going to be going over the COVID-19 vaccine logistics, so some updates, what's going on, some of the challenges that we're seeing right now, and then what is the CDC saying about it? So what documentation have they released and what updates have they put out in regards to the pandemic? After that, in the second half of the presentation, I will be going over all of InTemp's cold chain monitoring solutions. So all the solutions that you can take advantage of to help also meet the needs of the pandemic and the vaccines. And then just give you a really quick overview of onset. So if you haven't read the news, I'm sure all of you are aware by now, the vaccines are here. They're out, they're going, everything's really exciting right now. Multiple companies, one after another, are getting emergency approvals and releasing their stuff. But the logistical challenges are still huge. They're still there, and we're still working through them, and we're trying to figure out the best ways to make sure that we are transporting these vaccines as efficiently as possible and making sure that they're safe and equitable the entire journey. First vaccine to come out is, or first major vaccine, I should say, was Pfizer. As a lot of you already know, it does require dry ice storage and shipping conditions. And that right there is obviously a logistical issue for many people, as dry ice storage is hard to come by. Pfizer vaccine is using specialized shippers with built-in temperature monitoring, so those shippers do already have some loggers in it, which are meant to be returned to Pfizer at some point during the process. The next one that came out was the Moderna vaccine, which requires frozen storage, so a bit more manageable in that aspect, but it does still require frozen storage for both and for shipping as well. And then AstraZeneca just got some approvals, and that requires refrigerated storage and shipping conditions. So even with all these vaccines coming out and a few different major players sending out or manufacturing and distributing these vaccines, monitoring and inventory management are still really large logistical challenges. So a really quick overview of what's happening in terms of the vaccines right now. Here's some of the latest updates. I got a lot of this information from the New York Times, actually, so it's easily accessible. I think they're actually a really great resource to look at. They break things down really nicely, see things from a high level, and then specific vaccines. And then on top of that, with information from the CDC, it really gives you a great holistic and detailed look at the same time of everything that's going on in the world and how we're attacking all the logistical challenges and getting those vaccines out there. So just to go over a few of the major players here, again, obviously Pfizer is out there. You have to have it at dry ice shipping and storage until it gets to its destination where it goes into refrigeration. Only good in refrigeration for about 3 to 4 days around there before you actually have to discard the vaccine. So you have to use it within a short amount of time once you do put it into refrigeration. And you'll see here that being one of the first ones to release, they are approved either for emergency use or full approval in the most countries as of now. So you can see a fairly good list of countries and regions. So UK and EU, obviously, where this vaccine is being approved. Moderna followed up not long after, and they're frozen um, storage and shipping until they get into refrigeration. A bit more stable with the ability for it to stay in refrigeration for about 30 days. So a little bit easier to distribute and store and manage in terms of inventory because it does have that longer shelf life in refrigeration. Last I checked, it doesn't have as much approval across the world yet. It looks like mostly in USA and Canada for emergency or full approval. It might have changed since I checked this back in December, late December. So I'm not sure if anything else has been updated in terms of where it can be used. AstraZeneca just recently got approved for emergency use in the UK, and that is refrigerated. So again, a lot more stable. It can be in refrigeration for up to 6 months. And then Johnson & Johnson just announced that they're expecting to file for emergency use in the United States in February. So they're very close as well. So we have 4 very major players all in the game right now, all starting to ramp up and get vaccines out there. And of course, what makes it complicated is they all have their own conditions. So we have dry ice for Pfizer, frozen for Moderna, refrigerated for Oxford, and then Johnson Johnson is also going to be frozen. So of course, there's some logistical challenges right there. To give you kind of the high level view of what challenges still remain, it's mostly logistical now. So experts are saying that somewhere between 12 billion and 15 billion vaccines are needed globally. In 2021, it is expected that we'll only produce about 9 billion of those vaccines. So right then and there, that makes things difficult logistically. Currently, the world is capable of producing and distributing around 6.4 billion flu vaccines. So that gives you an idea of what we're able to actually really produce compared to the flu vaccines. And flu vaccines are a lot easier to ship and store. So again, you're starting to get this high level idea of what challenges surround the shipping and storage of these vaccines. And this is more in regards to the Pfizer vaccine and any other vaccines that come out that might need ultra low temperatures. But one of the biggest logistical challenges with it is billions of people potentially do not have access to ultra low temperature storage equipment. So that makes inventory for the Pfizer vaccine fairly difficult, making sure that you're ordering enough at the right time and using at the right time so that you're not having to waste these vaccines. So the next part, I'm going to go over some of the updates from the CDC. On November 20th of last year, the CDC did update their vaccine storage and handling toolkit. And there is an addendum at the end that goes over the COVID-19 vaccine itself. And you'll also see this presentation at the end. So you can always use these links to take a look at the document itself, but some high level things on what was updated. They did recommend what data loggers and storage equipment should be used for the pandemic and the COVID vaccines. general storage and handling recommendations. And one really useful thing that I found in this guide was they do have a guidance for temperature excursion. So a step-by-step plan of what you should do. And not only that, they tell you who to contact. So depending on which vaccine you have, they have a list there that says for this vaccine, this is who you should contact if you are experiencing excursions, so that you can get all the data you need to make decisions if something does happen. For monitoring, they still do recommend a probe in glycol in a buffered solution. However, they made it clear that this is not for dry ice monitoring. Glycol is not going to work in dry ice conditions. So for that, they are recommending a probe in air for dry ice conditions. So it is a little bit more lax in that area for monitoring any vaccines that might require ultra low temperature monitoring. Also, in the addendum of the storage and handling toolkit, they go over some more specifics for digital data loggers, detachable probe and buffered solution, again, for non-dry ice conditions only. For dry ice conditions, you can use a probe in air. Something that has alarm excursions, a low battery indicator, so a screen on the loggers themselves to show all this information with current min and max temperatures, recommended uncertainty or accuracy at different levels, and then the ability to adjust the logging interval. So a lot of that hasn't changed other than what might be needed for dry ice solutions. And later on, as we go through our solutions, I'm going to show how all of our products really, or how some of our products meet all these requirements, and the new products that we're developing specifically for dry ice conditions, how it meets these requirements as well. So you'll get a really good idea of what solutions we offer and how they actually meet the CDC requirements. Again, from the addendum, always record min and max temperatures, always record the date and time and the name of the person checking and recording these temperatures, and also make sure you're recording any actions taken if an excursion occurred. So you really want to get into the details here of when did the excursion occur, how did it occur if you know that, and what you did in response to it. Did you have to throw out the vaccines? Did you contact the manufacturer and the manufacturer said they're okay? Make sure you're really detailed and accurate, because the CDC really is going to want to see this information. And they want you to keep these records for a minimum of 3 years. So hopefully that gives you some really good guidance on what the CDC is expecting, what kind of data loggers you should be using in different situations. So when to use probe in air versus probe in glycol, how you should be recording, what you should be recording, and how long you should really keep those records. So I am going to take a second here to see if there are any questions. Again, if you do have a question, please put it into the question box. If we don't have any questions, I will wait about a minute or so to see if some start coming in. I'll keep moving on. All right, so.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah.
There is a question that's come through. Do you have a guide on how to use the data logger solutions?
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to our website, so you go to onset into the InTemp section, you can go to any of our loggers, and each logger does have its own manual. Or I should say logger family has their own manual. And then we also have manuals for how to use our cloud platform, how to use our different apps. And then we also have videos, instructional videos, and a very comprehensive instructional guide for how to use the cloud platform. It has very detailed pictures, step-by-step directions and everything. So we have several guides already up on our website and videos. And of course, we do have a wonderful tech services team here at Onset that can help you with any troubleshooting and setup as well.
Great. Thank you, Colin. There's another quick question. I believe you're going to get to this, but someone did ask, does the monitoring for COVID-19, do the solutions comply to CFR 21, Part 11?
Yeah, great. So yes, all of our solutions, both of the apps and the cloud platform in TempConnect, they all are 21 CFR Part 11 compliant. If you're not familiar with 21 CFR Part 11, it basically at a high level says you do not have the ability to alter or delete data in any way. So not even us here at Onset have the ability to alter or delete data. Of course, there's also some security requirements, username, passwords, that kind of stuff. All of our systems are 21 CFR Part 11 compliant, and we do have a really useful guide that shows how it is on our website. Jessica actually included it as one of the handouts if you want to check out the handout section about how the system does meet those requirements.
Okay, great. Thanks, Colin. I think questions are coming in now, but I think if you want to continue with the presentation, we'll take a look at those afterwards.
All right, wonderful. All right, on to the solutions. So this is a really high level overview of what kind of solutions we have for you broken down by transport and storage. You'll see that there's definitely a lot of overlap here, but there are some key differences. So in terms of what loggers should be used for transport versus storage. And I'll go into all the loggers that we offer and what vaccines would be appropriate to use loggers with. But you'll also see here that one key highlight is all these loggers are going to be, or are all work the same way. They're all going to communicate with our apps or the optional gateway, and they can all send data to the same place. So they'll all send data to the TempConnect cloud system. So in that sense, they all function the same way, and again, all part of a 21 CFR compliant system. Some key features of our products, they are designed to meet the increased demands for cold chain visibility and automation. So we do have a great system that allows you to automate a lot of your process, especially for monitoring, automating reports, automating downloads, automating logger programming and everything. So we have created a very comprehensive and robust system that really makes things a lot easier, makes your lives a lot easier for monitoring. But we also design in a way that makes it very customizable so you can get exactly the data you want to see. Combines Bluetooth data loggers with the InTemp app for mobile devices and the optional CX5000 gateway, which is really used for the automation part of it. So again, automating downloads, reports, and alerts. That's a key thing. It will automate any alerts. So if a logger does have a temperature excursion, as long as it's in range of the gateway, you're going to get notified immediately of that excursion. Advanced data reporting capabilities with InTemp Connect cloud system. So it really is a very robust tool that allows you to customize your reports, get standard reports automatically so that you're seeing exactly the data you want to see and in the way you want to see it. So it allows for grouping and organizing. So again, it's a very flexible, customizable system that does also allow for a great deal of automation. Our loggers are CDC compliant with NIST calibration certificates. All of our loggers do come with NIST calibration certificates. They will come with a physical copy when you do place an order, and you can also download a digital copy through the InTemp Connect cloud platform. Again, it is a 21 CFR Part 11 compliant solution. Both the apps and the cloud platform are. And all manufactured by Onset. We manufacture in-house in the USA. We've been known to be a very trusted source for accuracy and affordable, reliable data loggers for nearly 40 years now. So I'm going to go through some of the the solutions now in terms of software and apps. And then after that, I'll go into the actual equipment. But I wanted to give you a high-level overview of what offerings we have in terms of software and how they can meet a lot of the needs that you may have when storing or distributing vaccines during the pandemic. So we do have the InTemp mobile application, which allows you to view and manage all loggers and gateways from a central point. So with this app, you can see temperatures in real time as long as you're in range of those loggers. Again, they are Bluetooth loggers, so you have to be in range of them with the mobile app or the gateway to make sure that data is being offloaded. And with the app itself, you can view them in real time as long as you're in range. You have the ability to connect, configure, and download those loggers using Bluetooth, all with the app. And then if you're using the app as a user of the TempConnect cloud system as well, it will sync that logger information automatically to the cloud. So whenever you're using the app, as long as you're signed in with your cloud account, it's going to send that data to a centralized place automatically. And again, 21 CFR Part 11 compliance solution. We just released a brand new app in October of last year called InTemp Verify. This is an app that we're actually very excited about. We think it adds a lot of value to our solution as a whole. It is a download and continue only version of the InTemp app. So meaning you can't configure loggers, you can't access gateways or anything. It is just a download button. What makes this app so powerful and so useful and valuable is that it allows our loggers, Bluetooth loggers, to be used almost as if they're USB loggers. So major advantage of USB loggers is anybody can just pick one up, plug it into a computer, and retrieve the data. With the InTemp Verify app, it's giving you that same level of data accessibility. What it really does is it allows anybody anywhere in the world to just click download, and then it's automatically going to send that data to the logger owner's account. So the people using this app are not the ones who own the loggers. They're the ones who are getting a product and they have a logger on the product, and they don't need to be part of the cloud system. They don't have to be a user in it. They don't have to be a user of anything. They simply press download, and that data gets sent automatically to the logger owner's account for them to do an assessment of whether or not the product is still good, or if some actions need to be taken. So again, a very powerful brand new tool that we're now offering that allows our Bluetooth loggers to be used as if they are USB loggers. Also 21 CFR Part 11 compliance solution. Sorry, it seems my computer is freaking out a little. Let's get back to it. Okay, just make sure everything's good. Yep, sorry about that. And the TempConnect cloud platform. So this is really the highlight of our entire solution. This is the centralized storage database where all the data can be sent to, data from the InTemp app, from the gateway, from the InTemp Verify app, whatever you decide to use, all the data is going to be set up to this cloud platform to have a secure 21 CFR compliant centralized system so that you can have all your data in one place, create customized reports, set up notifications so that you could be alerted of any temperature excursions. And again, if you're using the gateway, it allows for a lot of automation, so you can automatically program and configure your loggers, automatically download them, and automatically get any reports, whether it's for a regular download or for a download due to a temperature excursion. Highly flexible, highly secure, customizable solution that works with all of our loggers. So our apps and the cloud system and the gateway will work with all of our loggers. The one exception to that is, as of right now, our new logger, the CX405, which I'll go over in just a second, is not compatible with the InTemp Verify app. We will have that compatible by the end of this month, actually. So now I'm going to go over the different loggers, and again, I'll kind of talk about what loggers should be used in what conditions, so that you have a really good sense of what solutions you need to use, no matter what vaccine you're ordering or you have coming to you for the pandemic. We have the CX402 VFC data logger, which meets all CDC VFC requirements. So those requirements that we mentioned in the beginning of this is a fully compatible solution. It's designed for vaccine storage at refrigeration or freezer temperatures, has a detachable probe in glycol, 0.5 C accuracy from frozen to ambient temperatures, a display with min and max and current temperature, visual and audible alarms, and it's NIST calibrated with a 3-year cert included. It also actually has a really unique feature called Daily Check. Our 400 loggers all have this, so our 402s, 403s, and the 405s all have something called Daily Check, which makes recording data and reporting a lot easier for you. So any written logs that you might need to send to the CDC can be replaced by this feature where if you set up daily checks, you just use the InTemp app, perform the daily check with the press of a button, and all that data is going to go automatically into any reports you might download saying a person did a daily check at this time, and it has who did the daily check, and all that can be sent to the CDC if they need any additional information from you. So that is a really great feature to use to help simplify things so you don't have written logs. And then with all of our 400 loggers, they all have AAA battery replaceable. They're loggers, so it's really easy to just swap out the batteries if they do start getting low. The CX405, this is a brand new logger for us that actually got released just last Friday. So we're really just starting to ship these out now. We're really excited about this one. We built this specifically for meeting the needs of the Pfizer vaccine as well as other vaccines. So this is a 400 logger that has the digital display, but a ultra accurate RTD probe that allows you to record ultra low temperatures. So a range of -95 C all the way up to 50 C. And what's really key about this is that means it can meet all your needs for any vaccine that you might be monitoring or any beyond the pandemic, any pharmaceutical you might be monitoring. So it has a high degree of accuracy from -95 all the way to 50. So that's dry ice, frozen, refrigerated, or even ambient conditions. So it's a really great solution that allows people to see temperatures on the screen in real time, see the min and max, see whether or not there's alarms so that they have a very good visual indicator as it goes through the supply chain. It is NIST calibrated, and as always with all of our other loggers, we'll include a calibration certificate, a physical one upon ordering, or you can, again, always download a digital version of that certificate through TempConnect. High and low temperature alarms. So this works the same way as all of our other loggers. If it experiences a temperature excursion and it is within range being the key word there, of a gateway, you're going to get that automated notification saying that a temperature excursion occurred, and it gives you the opportunity to be proactive and look to see what's happening and help prevent you from losing product. Simple customizable logger settings. Um, so you can go in there and adjust how frequently it records data, how it starts up, the min and max temperature levels, and several other things that you can really customize in there. And again, that applies to all the loggers. You can customize the behavior really easily through our InTemp Connect cloud system. And again, this is something that we built in response to the Pfizer vaccine, knowing that it was going to need ultra low temperature monitoring and that people would need to see visually what temperatures are all throughout the supply chain. User replaceable batteries and 37,622 measurements, meaning it can record a lot of data over a long period of time, so you don't have to worry about if they are long shipments. It's going to last a long time and ensure that it's continuously recording data all the way to its destination. An alternative to the 405 logger is the 600 dry ice loggers. So this is very much the same thing, difference being that they do not have the digital display, but also can be used for both storage and shipping applications. Again, this is more meant to be used for dry ice conditions. So if you're monitoring specifically like the Pfizer vaccine, um, obviously you can see that it is a little cheaper than the 405, but you're not getting the digital display, so that's why it is a little cheaper. Again, comes with a NIST calibrated certificate, high and low temp alarms, customizable logger settings, and this actually has even more memory, so it can go on even longer trips if you need something with expanded memory. For frozen to ambient conditions, so any vaccines or products that need to be stored in frozen to ambient conditions, we do have the 500 loggers. These are mostly meant for transportation purposes, but they most definitely can be put into storage solutions. Obviously, you're not getting the digital display there, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for storage solutions. If you are looking to do storage, we recommend using the 402. The 402 VFC logger, because again, that one is CDC VFC compliant. So this really is more for transportation. Has a range of -30 to 70 C, and they're miscalibrated, high and low temperature alarms. They have a visual indicator there, at least to say whether or not they're in an alarm state, customizable logger settings, and 14,000 measurements. So that was the majority of the loggers that we have. We definitely have more than that, but these are the ones we really wanted to highlight in response to the pandemic and all the vaccines that are being created, to show you we have a wide range of loggers that can be used for any conditions. So you have the 405 for ultra low to ambient with the digital display, 600s if you don't need the display, 500s if you just want to use something for transportation purposes for frozen ambient conditions, and then the 402 VFC logger, which meets all your CDC VFC needs for, again, frozen to ambient conditions, although that one is really mostly meant for frozen and refrigerated storage. We then also have the CX5000 gateway, and this is where all the automation comes into play. So if you want a solution that really minimizes the amount of work people within your supply chain have to do, this is really the solution for you. This is where you can get all your automation and allow things to make things very simple for people all throughout the supply chain. So the gateway allows for automated logger programming and downloading. It's what enables automatic reporting, so getting reports and notifications whenever an alarm occurs. And it can also be used specifically with our shipment features within TempConnect, which makes utilizing more easier if you are using the loggers for shipping purposes. It ensures 100% data recovery. So even if the gateway goes down for whatever reason, you're not going to lose your data. It is very secure. It's part of the 21 CFR compliance system, fully encrypted, and it can be used. It can connect either wirelessly or through Ethernet to send data to the cloud. So the gateway will connect to the loggers via Bluetooth. So again, those loggers do need to be in range to communicate through Bluetooth, but then sends data up either through a wireless network or through Ethernet. And then now just a little bit about Onset, just give you a little bit of our history. We are considered a world leader in data loggers, founded all the way back in 1981. So we have been around for a long time making digital data loggers. Currently, we have around 140 employees, and we manufacture everything on site. We are located in Bourne, Massachusetts, so on Cape Cod, for those of you who are familiar with Massachusetts, not too far away from Boston. So everything is manufactured on site with a high degree of quality. We are ISO 9001 compliant, and we do have a global network of distributors. So there's multiple ways to purchase from us. You can go online and purchase through our website. You can go through one of our distributors, or you can contact us directly. There are multiple ways to purchase these, and then there's also multiple solutions for you to reach out and get information you may need, whether it is some troubleshooting guidance or just needing some help with setting things up. We have a great team on site that can help you work through those types of things. So that is the end of the presentation. Again, we want to thank you all so much for attending today. We really hope that you found this information to be useful. We are constantly monitoring what's going on in the world and learning as much as we can and trying to deliver this information to you. And then also giving you an overview of what solutions we can provide you to help meet the ever-evolving needs of this pandemic. So thank you very much for attending today, and I'm gonna open it back up to questions.
Hey, Colin, thank you. So we do have a question here. What is the process for recalibration of the data loggers?
Yeah, wonderful question. So we do have a recalibration program for the United States where you can go to our website or call our client services and request recalibration, and we will actually send you a data logger before you send your existing ones back to us. So you'll get one first for continuous monitoring, and then you'll send ours back. And this is at a discounted rate. So you will get the recalibration for less than what you pay for a new logger. So it's a really great program that you can utilize. Currently, that is for the US only. If you are outside of the United States, you can definitely reach out to your distributors, your local distributors, and ask them what their offerings are. Um, or if you want to ship the loggers back to us directly, it's also an option. It's just obviously going to cost you more money than it's actually worth. So if you're in the US, you can definitely utilize a recalibration program. If you're outside, contact one of your local distributors. And I will say we are actually in the process of developing a global program for recalibration. So we are gearing up to have the program in the US available globally. So no matter where you are, you could take advantage of the program we have in the US. So look for that coming hopefully soon.
Great, thank you. A couple other questions here. Do the CX 500s and CX 600s work and link with the CX 5000 gateway?
Yeah, all of our loggers work with the CX 5000 gateway. So the 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, any logger that we develop can be used with the gateway and can be used with the apps. Again, the 405 as of right now cannot be used with the InTemp Verify app, but we will make that available by the end of this month so that the InTemp Verify app can also work with every single logger.
Okay, and very much aligned with the same question. Someone's asking again, the CX 5000 gateway, it can be used for multiple devices. So this person has a CX 402 and they are planning to purchase CX 405.
Yeah, and you can use, again, any loggers that you want. It can mix and match. So you don't have to be limited to just the 400s or the 500s. You can have a mix of things. As long as they're part of the InTemp product family, They can be used with the CX5000 or any of the apps. Again, whether that be a 400, 500, 600, a combination of things, they'll all seamlessly work with any of our software solutions or with the gateway.
Great, thank you. Um, okay, well, I think that looks like it, Colin. Thank you.
All right, great. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Um, as always, we're going to keep looking for new information. And if things develop even more and we think there's some useful updates, we'll continuously do these webinars. We assess that on a case by case basis, obviously. If you do want to get some additional information, please go to our website. We have a link already up in the chat and some handouts there. But the website has a great overview of our solutions for COVID vaccine monitoring. And then you can always reach out to any of us here on the contact information page for any additional questions you might have. Thank you again. I wish you all a wonderful day and stay safe. Goodbye.